Hi, we're here today with Dominic and Bogey, and he's really rambunctious today.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Come here.
Why did you choose this particular kind of dog, and how did you get it?
Well, me and my dad hunt all the time, and we already had a yellow lab, and we thought that the yellow lab, my old yellow lab, would teach this one how to hunt, but he didn't.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
He's just too crazy. He's just insane. And he's not the smartest dog in the world either. Come here, Bo.
Because they're working dogs, and I love the snow, and I had a sled team up in the mountains, and I had to move back down to the Bay Area, so I restarted my sled team. And so they're great people dogs. They're get along with families. They're kid friendly. They're very smart and intelligent. They're too smart for their own, for their own good.
When you say too smart for their own good, in what ways?
In what ways? Nikaya, when we first got her, she would figure out how to open up the back gate. She did it 3 different times. I had to change the gate, the lock on the gate, because she would open it up. She opens up doors. She talks. She does tricks, and she pulls sled. She mushes. But she could say, "I love you."
He's from the Pound in Oakland. I specifically wanted a dog that was like a bigger dog, and even though they said at the Pound that he was like a German Shepherd, he's like obviously not. And I like lab pit mixes. I mean, I like both labs and pits, but pits get a very bad reputation, and sometimes if you get a pit, if they're already, a certain age, they'll already be trained by their owners to be mean, because a lot of people get them for that reason. And labs are very like sweet, caring, gentle dogs, and so that combination I think is really good. And both lab and pits are very smart too, which is also good. But yeah, I just wanted a dog that was big and would have fun and be athletic.
Well, as you can tell, there's boundless energy, and that's the kind of guy I am. Very energetic, very social, very happy, just like Bailey here. She's quite the character, if you will. I'm an only child. She's a little only child too, so she loves the attention, and she's just very outgoing, just a very energetic, hyper dog like her dad.
How did you happen to find her?
Well, found her actually on the internet, because I never had a dog before, but what she basically brought to my wife and I, or newlyweds with my wife, she basically proposed for me. So she had a nice little ring when she was a puppy around her collar, and I surprised my fiance at the time during our 2-year anniversary together, and she was there with the basket and a ring around her neck, and she basically helped propose for me. And so she's kind of a gift and a nice gamble, I guess, if you will, finding on the internet, because you never know what you're going to get, but she definitely fits the family well.
Because I wanted a buddy when I went to college, and a roomie. And so I went on petfinder.com, and I was particularly interested in terriers and beagles. So I typed that into the search engine, and his picture came up, and I just fell in love with it. So I went to a shelter in Oakdale, California, and he just really stood out because all the other dogs were barking, and he just sat there quietly all by himself like a little gentleman.
Well, I didn't quite choose him. Somebody couldn't take care of him, and I had another dog that got hit by a car, and my boyfriend bought him for me. You too spunky. Calm down.
Why has this become your favorite dog, and what do you like about it?
Well, I like him because I call him black because he brown like me, and he's spunky like me, and he just loves me, and he watches out, especially when I'm dating guys. If I bring him around, he'll kind of get that kind of smirk and look him up and down and let me know if it's okay or not. And if he don't like him, he'll let me know. That's enough of this. No.
And if he doesn't like them, do you not see them anymore?
No, I don't. Because if he don't like them, then I know something is wrong. And he just have a great way of picking out characters. He'll kind of like stop them at the door with a smirk. Like that. If they're no good.
He's is obsessed with this laser pen that I have. I can do figure eights with it for hours. I could be laying down on the couch watching TV and just doing it, and he will just get a kick out of it for hours.
Can you show us exactly how that works?
Sure. In fact, I have it right here. Come on, Cooper.
Shake. Down. Down. Chucky, down. Thank you.
Oh. He left and gone. He's not gonna. He's not gonna do it.
Nikaya, what do you say? What do you tell me? Tell me you love me. Nikaya, what do you say? What do you say? Tell me you love me. Say I love you. I love you, Mama. Say I love you, Mama.
Can you describe any interesting experiences or stories about you and your dog?
Well, one recently that happened was this past Christmas. It was actually kind of a crazy story, but he was attacked by a pit bull. So he's definitely my lucky dog. He's a miracle dog, in my opinion. You know, just pretty much getting away with it without, you know, just a little scratch. So that was, off the top of my head, the biggest thing that, you know, has happened to him that I can think of as an experience for sure.
I had a house up on the hill in San Ramon overlooking the valley, and every 4th of July we had fireworks right in my backyard. I mean, it was literally, the fireworks would explode right over my yard. And so a couple years ago we were all sitting around the fire pit and watching fireworks, and Teddy was in a chair next to me, and all of a sudden my son looks over and he goes, "Look at the look on his face." And he said he's in love. And he was just looking up at me with the most contented look on his face, and everybody was looking at him, and sure enough, I mean, there was no other way to describe it. In the middle of all the kabooms and kabangs, you know, he was completely relaxed and contented just to sit there next to me. He's fine so long as he's next to me. And he looks at me a lot like that. I love it.
Her favorite movie is also Milo and Otis. The first time she watched it, she was just so fixated on the pug. And I think ever since she's just learned to recognize other pugs on the streets. Like, she just, whenever she sees one, she just goes straight up to it, and she knows like, hey, that looks like me. That dog looks like me. And anytime I put on a movie with animals, she just sits there and she actually watches the movie instead of like falling asleep.
Safi loves warm laundry. A good story here is when you take warm laundry out of the laundry basket, she is in there and buries herself in it. So what we did was I started taking pictures. Similar to a Where's Waldo book, what we've done is we made a photo album of Safi in the laundry. And my son, being autistic, a special needs child, he loves to look through this photo album that we've just keep increasing with constant pictures. And I used to focus Safi in the center, and you could find Safi in the laundry, and then slowly I started putting her in the corners and a little more difficult to find, and he loves to pull that book out and find Safi.
In what ways are the dogs you don't like, you know, similar in different in personality than your personality? You know, the kind of traits the dogs have that you don't like that you don't have.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, I just feel like the dogs that I don't like are like usually really small and just like, I don't know, they just get to me, like inside my head, like they're just like just chatting, just I just can't stand it.
And you're more quiet?
Yeah, I'm more like, I don't know, I'm more like, I would say I'm like this. This is me, right? Pretty much.
The least, I like all dogs, but Chihuahuas, because they're small, they yap, they just constantly yap, 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 yap. And Huskies don't bark, they howl.
In what ways is the Chihuahua, the personality qualities of the Chihuahua different than your own personality qualities?
They never shut up. And I'm a quiet kind of person. They just constantly going, you know, bark, and then they'll come back at you, nip you in the heels, and kind of like get you from behind. And I'm not a get you from behind kind of person, you know?
You know, I'm not a mean person. I'm very happy, very sociable. So like with little chihuahuas and little tiny dogs, they get kind of a little angry when you get close to them. They're not as friendly from the get-go. And so I'm very friendly from the get-go. You know, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And, you know, that's one trait from little dogs that are just really very, I guess, a turn off for me. Also, with big dogs, I mean, I'm not a big guy. I'm an average guy. I'm not like super big and large, and I'm not clumsy generally. And big dogs are pretty clumsy, I would say, and they knock things over. And they're huge, big tails and everything like that. So I'm not that kind of guy. I never was too big, and I was never too small. I was just always just an average, medium kind of guy.
Like your dog.
Yes.